Live. Alright, hopefully everything's working correctly. We should hopefully be live now. Welcome back to Hard Mode stream. In the last stream we left off moving into Ghost World, and after finishing a few of Riley's quest lines, ran out of time for that day's stream. For today's stream, we're going to be picking up where we left off, continuing with Riley, and then also going ahead and doing Leo and Yoko's quest line. We've already gotten a start on both of those, so it shouldn't take too long. And we probably will be able to finish both of these and move on to Jax in this stream. Thing is, replaying the game is a lot faster than getting through the first time. Hello Solo, hello Turtle, hello Yorick, hello Deadball, hello Rez, Bansik, and Jacob. I think that was everyone that said hi. Hello Nobody. Anyways, yeah, that will be the plan for today. It's probably not going to be a super interesting stream. Like, we're going to be mainly just cruising through quests we've done already. I don't think we're actually going to get through Riley's. I think she requires us to actually unlock this area, which technically we can go, but we aren't going to actually head there yet. And yeah, just going to be kind of a grind to get through. Anyways, is there anything else? Ghost Sim news? Don't think so. Yeah, how much of the next Minecraft videos are recorded? I think I've recorded pretty much all I want to record at this point. The thing about it is, I'm really bad at editing videos, especially when it's like the Minecraft videos that don't get that many views. Like, as a whole, it's really hard for me to motivate myself to go edit it. The first one was fun. The second one starts to become the chore. I just have most of it recorded, so I should just be able to go ahead and edit it together, whatever. And I think it's getting enough views at this point where it's kind of worth it. But, like, it's going to be a lot more fun. I don't know. I prefer having the fun with those things, so sometimes I'll just play them a lot off stream and off recording, and it kind of causes kind of this pain where it's like, okay, I want to play, but I don't want to record or whatnot. And it causes a really bad desync. What games do I play off stream? On computer, I've been playing Minecraft a little bit recently. I also play a few Steam games, like, Bloons TD6 I used to play a lot. I'm not playing that right now for whatever reason. I haven't felt like playing it, so it hasn't really been played. I've also been playing a lot of Pet Sim 99 on Roblox recently. That's pretty much it for PC. Minecraft, Roblox, a few Steam games. Actually on my phone I do play a few other games though. Right now it's like Brawl Stars is one of the ones I'm playing quite a bit. That's actually a pretty regular one for me. And then also, yeah, mainly Brawl Stars, a little bit of few other games, but nothing super big. Anyways, yeah, I haven't really been playing on my main account too much on Ghost Simulator. I think, like, realistically speaking, I've done, like, I don't know, I've got, like, 80 keys on the Christmas event, and I kind of want to get, like, 1 or 2 mythicals from it, plus, like, everything else I usually get from the event. It's kind of, I've been debating on doing a stream. I know someone actually has asked whether I'm going to do something other than hard mode content on Ghost Simulator. And I think going forward, I'll be doing update videos covering everything that's included in an update, like why it was added, a lot of that information, just because I think that's kind of would be a decent video idea. And I mean, it'll make more sense later, but yeah. But no, I definitely have been finding hard mode kind of fun. I do plan on this year making one video and one stream every single week. with hard mode, I mean, that's usually the one stream a week. But I think I'll be trying to shift over to maybe not doing hard mode every single week. I think that's kind of getting old. We'll see. I definitely have time to figure out what I want to do schedule-wise for this year. Yeah, no, definitely when you're playing with other people, sometimes you get way too far ahead or they get way far ahead, and it's kind of a pain to wait for them to catch up, especially when sometimes they aren't. I know in Minecraft sometimes that's can be an issue when someone plays a lot and everyone else doesn't really play that much. You either get way far ahead or way far behind, and it becomes kind of like not really a co-op thing anymore. It just becomes one of you guys really enjoys it, another one doesn't. Actually, it's actually a fairly common problem. I know when I started doing YouTube, someone I knew was also like started around the same time, you know, we at the time we were like, oh yeah, this will be amazing, and then like one of us did it and the other one didn't, and it's like, I mean, it makes sense. Like obviously it's not for everyone, and like sometimes it's like, okay, one of you guys is enjoying it a lot more than the others, so the other person kind of just stops, and that's just how it works out. But yeah, it definitely kind of makes a lot of like starting out, you're like, oh yeah, we can do this together, and then 2 months later, only one of you guys has done 100, like 90% of the work, and yeah. All right. Actually, the funny thing is right now we are in a public server, but like there's no one stealing a ghost, so it's actually a really nice public server. Other than the fact that we have 5 FPS or whatever. Alright, that should be Leo's done. The interesting thing is going to be Yoker, I think. I think we should have enough time today to complete all of that. We'll see. But, yeah. It's definitely, playing through this kind of has definitely given me a good idea of what it is like to play as a free-to-play, or kind of like what quests are bad, what quests are good, which is going to be actually kind of helpful. Yeah, I actually haven't unboxed classifieds in actually quite a long time. I think the last classified I unboxed was like Sandstorm, and that was like 6 months ago or something ridiculous. I think mainly it's like it takes a while to grind the gems. Like it's not too long. I think it'd be like 5-6 hours for me to grind enough gems for a sunspot. But like it's still just long enough where I don't actually feel like doing it. Alright, we should be able to finish up these quests. Wow, it's really laggy today. I can almost certainly tell you it's because of this background. It kind of makes it a cave in here, so like airflow is actually kind of low, so it's overheating and whatever, but... I do want these horse ghosts though, so... Anyways, we should move on. I think to the next is going to be pet leveling for Yoko. Yeah, level up any 2 pets to level 2. At this point, I think we're going to go do a variety of stuff. I think grabbing the red ring for Leo, and then maybe trying to focus on Leo's quest. I think that was the wrong ring. Yeah, that was the purple ring that I needed. Alright, let's go swap over to a pet leveling pet team. I don't know if I have one preset up, but we should just be able to swap over a pet team to whatever. Then equip. Do we not have commons for leveling? Alright, we do need to go the 2 commons really quick. So we do need to turn off auto delete commons and then unbox a little bit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should have probably thought about this one a little bit sooner. We are going to go ahead and lock a few things. It's definitely nice to have a smaller inventory in some respects. Like, it's a lot easier to go through and see what I'm actually deleting when I'm doing the mass trash. I know on my main account, sometimes I'm like cruising through and I have no idea what I'm deleting. Like, it's just too much stuff for me to keep track of what's good and what's not. Here it's definitely easy. Just, you know, don't trash godlies, don't trash other stuff. Roles of classy. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting classified anytime soon on this account. I could if I want to. I actually do have enough gems for either a Twister or a Rainwave. And pretty much any of the boards too, so it is definitely a possibility if I wanted to put my mind to it, but I don't think it's going to be worth our time to try to go ahead and do that. Oh, we got cows on the Minecraft world? That is awesome. Now we can start creating inhumane farms and all that fun stuff. Anyways, now that we have the commons, we should be able to go ahead and just quickly grab 10 ghosts to level them up. Yes, that is the whole reason we got that is for, yeah, they'll require more leveling up quests later, but. Alright, let's go. Switch over, turn in Yoko's. And you're not allowed to use classies in the challenge? Actually, no, I'm allowed to use classifieds in the challenge. It's just, they aren't useful. Any classifieds I get stat-wise aren't going to be useful. Any classified I can't get is, any classified that is useful is way out of reach. Alright, what other quests do we have? Oh, gems from anywhere. Alright. Yeah, trying to keep track of what quests when you're doing like 3 quests at a time is kind of actually hard. What's that? No. So yeah, I think we're going to be double dipping trying to get the horses for Riley and also the ectoplasm and gems. Did I switch my pet teams back? I did. I should stay on this pet team since we do kind of need the stats. Or kind of need the leveling up too. Yeah, the big pets that we aren't allowed to use is like mythicals from like boss chests and stuff. And that was only like right when we started out really. I think once we rebirth we are have it in the rules somewhere that we are allowed to use those. The main thing was just in case like our first boss chest gave us like a mini crab or whatever, we wouldn't be able to just go ahead and use that to cheese the entire first part of Main Hub and Ghost World and whatever, just because those have really insane stats for their difficulty. Like you can access them super early and they have like really good stats for that. Same thing with like Grant's quest, Archie's quest, all those like rebirth proof quest lines that you have access to early on. I also didn't allow those. But yeah, other than that though, we are allowed to use anything. Pretty much anything that was too easy to get and super high stats was disallowed. Also, I always forget how long it takes to get ectoplasm for Yoko's quest when you can't just go grab like 2 ghosts from the last area in Ghost World, because we aren't allowed to go into there. 200 million ectoplasm is not a low amount. So no dev classifieds or anything like that. I think dev classifieds would be allowed, it's just we aren't going to go unbox for them just because they aren't worth the time investment, because spending hundreds of hours unboxing or grinding the final boss on this account is not really I mean, it would be decent, but it's not really the best way to get stat pets. Oh, we got the leveled up. Alright, let's go swap pet teams back. I think if we got a dev classified first try, I would have not allowed it, but if I specifically grind for it, then yes. Me spends 5 keys, gets 0 5s. Yeah. There's definitely like a cutoff point. Like on my main account, the first crate key I got, like when I first was playing the game, like 2019 or whatever, I did a boss. I got a boss chest from that boss. I used the boss chest, got a crate key from that boss chest. Then I used that crate key on crate 3, the most expensive crate you have access to in Main Hub, and I got a dragon in my first try. I think that was pretty game-breaking stat-wise for me at the point. Even if like the progression was still slow, it definitely, something like that, if that happened on this account, I don't think I'd allow myself to use it. So yeah, I think if I got that like dev classified, I don't think I'd allow myself to use it unless like I was specifically grinding for it. I think that's the same with like other classifieds too. If like I accidentally got, for whatever reason, a Cloud Wave, I don't think I would have used it. But yeah, dragon, yeah. That's my point. Is like there's other ways to break stat pets. I didn't feel like including every single way to break stats in the game because I didn't really feel like it was necessary. I think if I did get any of those really high stat pets randomly, like as you said, classifieds, dev classifieds, without like specifically grinding keys for it, like if I grinded 100 keys and got it from that, I'd probably allow myself to use a dev classified. Oh my goodness, how much dialogue does Associate Riley have? Yeah, you know, I saw that one too. Yeah, that chunk, Minecraft, that chunk lock thing, I think that's a really cool thing. It does kind of get kind of expensive sometimes. Like, me and you both saw that 16 Ancient Debris one. Yeah, I don't think we're unlocking that chunk in the next year. But yeah, I think it does kind of make it fun when it's sometimes, like, something you need is locked behind that same exact thing, it's kind of like, okay, I now need to find that somewhere else. I think bee farming is actually pretty easy. On the previous world, I had like stacks upon stacks of that just automatically being accumulated, so wouldn't be too hard if we found one bee. Assuming we have Silk Touch to move it around, to go ahead and farm like a lot more bees, so yeah. I'm also thinking, I'm trying to think about which quest we should focus on at this point. I think doing Leo before Yoko is actually probably the play. The thing is, like, 150 Royal Crowns is going to be a pain, especially when there's other people here. Alright. Ghost World's gone way too crowded, or a little bit too crowded at this point. I think we're just going to go ahead and switch over to private server. Yeah, you're bee expert? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you do like those specific mod packs or whatever. A specific thing I know about this is like there's some features in Minecraft that are like really obscure. Like, I don't know. I think this one's more of the more common obscure stuff is like you don't actually need like a full health bow or whatever to craft like a the dispenser dropper. Anyways, one of those when you shift click or whatever the recipe in the thing, it doesn't actually allow you to place in like a anything but a full health bow or whatever, just because it uses like the NPT data and it doesn't match the NPT data of a slightly damaged or whatever. And so you can just kind of like shift click into that and craft it. I think there's a few other interesting things where under that similar guise where it's like actually kind of obscure facts. What's another one? I know there's another good one out there, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we're going to focus, I think, on getting the Royal Crowns at the moment. And then, I mean, just slowly get Yoko. It'd be nice if we could go ahead and get, some of, or a lot of, if we could get Leo's done before we do all the bosses for Yoko, that'd be nice, because, Yoko, the amount of bosses Yoko requires is actually absurd. You know, the thing about, like, redstone and stuff, what you need to do is actually figure out how each of the components work. And then, like, once you know how, like, components work, you can look at, like, a bigger machine and then realize, oh, yeah, that's makes sense on how it works. And then you can just slowly build bigger and bigger and bigger stuff. And I mean, I'm talking, like, you know, there's, like, hundreds of, or whatever, of the, of redstone components at this point, so like figuring out how each of them work, whatnot, is not great. But yeah, if you just like, it's actually not that hard to design your own redstone or whatever, or even like farms. Like, I think pretty much anyone could go design their own redstone thing. It wouldn't maybe not be the most efficient, or it definitely wouldn't be the most efficient, and probably not even better than just searching up random one online. But it's kind of cool to be able to design your own redstone stuff, not have to go look at a guide for 2 hours straight just to build one thing. You can just go be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense on how you build it, and just build it yourself. But yeah. Yeah, the thing about Bedrock versus Java, I think the main difference is the bud powering, which makes absolutely no sense. The fact that you can power something without touching it, it kind of breaks some laws of physics, like, you know, more than Minecraft already does, but not a super important thing. But the fact that bud powering works and is the big one. I think there's like one other feature that I really didn't like the difference between Java and Bedrock. But yeah, it definitely allows you to build stuff a lot tighter, I think, in Java with having that bud powering. It also allows you to do some really interesting things since it doesn't quite update the block. So you can power a block, update it, and then it'll move instead of being powered and moving. It has to wait on something else. You gotta realize that, like, since the things were announced, I was fairly certain Armadillo would win. It looks like the most interesting out of all the mob choices that we had. Wolf Armor, just like, people care about dogs, like, they are kind of useless, but people do care a little bit about dogs, and having armor for dogs just kind of sounded cool. Along with, like, armadillos were, like, penguins, no one cared about penguins. I'm fairly sure that was the kind of who would have picked penguins. Like, boats move faster was all it was, and I don't think that was a very interesting feature. Anyways, like, the way that the community votes is definitely going beyond what people find the most interesting, and as a random person myself, I kind of consider myself to be pretty good at knowing what random people would want. Don't doors work underwater in Bedrock? Sworn they did. Anyways, the funny thing about like doors and stuff is that actually a bed actually works the same way as a door, and that it actually provides some breathing area. It's not as pretty much any block that is 2 blocks though, and I think that's only those two. Actually has that same sort of thing where you, no, maybe not all blocks, but most blocks that are like 2 blocks, like doors, beds. Oh, okay, they get waterlogged, I'm assuming is what you say? Alright, we want to turn in Leo first. I think Leo's the more important quest. Yep. I don't think this counts as a boss for Leo, but we'll do it anyways. Or does it like break underwater? Anyways, my point is, like, beds actually still work on work for breathing on it. Is there anything else? It's kind of interesting though that they didn't make doors water yeah. Anyways. Oh yeah, Ghost Simulator, I was kind of... Ghost Simulator says that they are going to be releasing the new devs, or they're working on hiring the new devs. I think they've done a little bit of updates over the past, I think they did an announcement, but they've been doing updates over like the last few month or so, anyone that's not in the Discord and hasn't seen that announcement, let me go read it. Official announcement, Bloxfight Discord. Bloxfight is getting some new developers soon. The hiring process has started. I don't know exactly what that means, but yeah. I don't know what that means time-wise. I don't know if that means that hiring process has started, means that they'll be announced soon, or if it's going to be like another month or whatever before they get announced. Yeah, new developers soon. I know it's been new developers soon for like the last month or so. Obviously, these things probably take longer than anyone else is aware, but yeah. Honestly, I might actually do, I know I asked before whether I wanted to do a Minecraft or a Ghost Simulator stream today. I might still do a Ghost Simulator stream like later this week, maybe like Wednesday, Thursday. We'll see. I do plan on doing, though, an update video. I don't think the update will be very interesting this week. I'm fairly sure this next update on Ghost Simulator is going to be... oh yeah, the Christmas event lasts for 2 more weeks. Good luck. 2 times snowflakes or whatever the currency is this year. I'm fairly sure that's going to be like the entirety of the update, plus like, you know, limited sort of stuff, but yeah. Ice cream. Now you guys are making me hungry. Fortunately, I have like candy right next to me. So, you know, I can just go eat some candy. I wonder when they add a new world. I don't think a new world's coming anytime soon. Maybe like November. Yeah, I think that November is a reasonable estimate for that. But that being said, they moved really fast to the Remnant Zone. I should just finish that candy off. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, with how fast they moved through Remnant Zone though, the fact that they like slowed down recently is kind of interesting. Like, they added basically every other update, so every month. They added a new NPC and new areas and whatever to Remnant Zone, and then it's just kind of slowed down since then. That was like 2023, I think we got the last, or early 2020, late? Yeah, like February last year, we got the last area for Remnant Zone that we have at the moment, and then like 3 months later we got the boss, and we really haven't had anything new in Ghost, in Remnant World since then, so, it's kind of interesting how fast it moved and then how slow it ended up being afterwards. Like, I mean, looking back, it kind of makes sense. Like, you have this big idea to add the zone, and then you're like, okay, what's next or whatever. You realize you have to finish the whole entire area, adding infinite quests, all that fun stuff that generally comes with those areas, and just isn't added later. Yeah, maybe next time I'll just bring ice cream and then flex on you guys that I have ice cream. Anyways, though, I think once we get Leo, this is going to become a lot better. I really hate how much of a grind it takes to do bosses without the heavy armor. Just like not having to worry about them throwing you, whatever. It just makes it so much faster and better, in my opinion. The devs probably ran out of ideas on how they continue the lore. I wouldn't be surprised. Lore is something that I don't keep up with. I don't think it's super important for Ghost Simulator. Like, I know, like, the entire focus of the game is the lore and whatever, but I feel like the game progression, game balance is so much more of an important aspect of the game than the lore is. Like, if I was a developer, Lore would be kind of one of my last concerns, and I mean, it would probably be pretty bad, lore-wise, if I was the only person trying to come up with the lore for the game. Which is fortunate that that is not the case, that I'm not the only that I'm not a sole developer on the game trying to figure out what to do with the lore. But yeah, I also think they have quite a bit of the lore already thought out, to be honest. They actually have quite a bit of questline writers, I think, if I remember correctly, that do a lot of the lore writing, and usually they do it like without too much influence on like developers or whatever. So it's probably quite thought out, I think. Alright, which quest do we want to do? Probably just wait around here until we get more bosses. But yeah, at the same time, I think balancing all the a lot of the game could actually do a lot better than just adding more new lore. I almost revealed that he is secretly a dev then? Yeah. That's actually why I thought so long. I'm actually getting hired as a developer whenever they announce those. And I was thinking how best to phrase it to not say I'm not a developer. Yeah, that's certainly what I meant. Yeah, anyways. I mean, lore is like the main objective, to be able to know how to design the map, like the H is to defeat the boss or Ghost World because of Blazing Vengeance or something. Yeah, I definitely understand like how the lore impacts the worlds, but you know, at the same time, I don't think it's like super important. I feel like you can design a world and then add lore around that instead of being like, oh yeah, that's where this world comes from, and so it should look like this and whatever. I think you can be like, oh yeah, that's why that looks like that later on, rather than being like, oh yeah, that makes sense why it's made that way. Yeah, because I've really read like zero lore on this account. Like, I've played through the game, had fun. I haven't really read any dialogue of like any NPC. I think the last time I read dialogue was like Void, to be honest. And that was only because no one else read it. So it was like, okay, someone should go read this, take screenshots, whatever, record all this information so it's actually somewhere. Once I did that, didn't feel like there was any more reason to read or whatever, because everyone else was doing the reading at that point. Design a world without any quest is pointless. Yeah, no, I think there's a difference between lore and quest lines. You can have a quest line without any lore in it. And I think as a player, I would be fine with that. I don't know what the rest of you guys think about that, but like, you know, just filler quest is something that's... It's not that important to have something informational in every single quest line or whatever. Oh yeah, we are still waiting for bosses to spawn. Actually, one should already be spawned, I think. Where's the secondary spawn for the Jolly Roger? Is it over here? Yeah, it is. Yeah, this spawn for Ghostly Vision boss is actually just slightly faster than the spawn time for Grim mini boss, so it kind of works out kind of nicely. I think Grim is 6:30. I think these bosses are like 6 minutes flat or something like that. Playing in a public or private? I started in a public. I switched over to a private when people started coming into the areas I needed ghosts from, because if it is definitely get pretty annoying when you are competing with other people over ghosts or whatever. And, you know, I have access to a private, so I might as well make it a little bit easier. I think in a public, it will be better for doing, like, bosses and stuff. But I think for now, we are mainly ghost-based. It's just we have a few, boss... Actually, we do have one more boss quest line for, we have actually a boss quest line for Leo. So at some point, we do need to hop over to main hub for that. But, yeah. Very understandable. No need for... Yeah, it's a pretty common sentiment to want to be into a public or a private or whatever. Oh, quick question, since I've been wondering about this. What do you guys think about grinding like the Christmas event streams? Like, I don't know. It's been a while since I've done like grinding on events or whatever on stream. I usually just do it off stream or don't do it at all. But like, I don't know. I feel like the main reason I do that is just because I feel like you guys wouldn't watch it. But what is your guys' opinion? Would you guys watch stuff like that? I mean, most of you guys would probably watch anything I streamed if you guys are available or whatever. But I don't know. Do you guys prefer more of hard mode, more of interesting stuff, or would you guys be fine with like literally watching me do the same thing over and over again in towers? Pretty great idea for a chill stream. Thing is, I have to talk a lot more during those streams. Like, actually, I already talk a lot during these streams. But like, even during those, like, it's just the same thing over and over again. There's nothing interesting ever going on. But yeah, both work for me. Yeah. I'm personally uninterested in the tower this year, but I would regardlessly watch it. Yeah, I feel like that's actually quite a few of the people who watch my channel at this point, where it's like they actually sometimes don't care about what I'm actually making and we're just watching something, which is nice. It does make it a little bit harder to get feedback on what like would actually do well, but you know, that is how it works. But yeah, no, I definitely understand the sentiment with not being interested in towers this year. Like, for whatever reason, when Halloween came around this year, I already felt like it would be one of those events that not actually that many people grinded for whatever reason. Myself included. It just had that feeling, like, when I started it or whatever, that I knew, like, this wouldn't be a popular event. Same thing with Christmas. Like, Christmas was pretty much exactly a repeat of last year, so... made a lot more sense, but I don't know. Sometimes it's actually pretty funny how obvious some things like, oh yeah, this change doesn't make any sense for the player base. When you're just a random person playing a game, you're like, you can look at something and be like, hey, this change, developers, why did you do this? Whereas with a developer, it's like they're kind of detached a little bit from it, whereas you kind of get a feel for like how the community will respond to updates as part of the community or whatever. Is that done with Riley? That is done with Riley. Nice. You'll also be a bit more motivated to the towers considering you have something to do. Yeah, that's actually, I've said this before, but that's like part of why I do streams. Streams motivate me to do like grinding Ghost Simulator, for instance. When I was, what's a good example? Oh, when I'm grinding like rebirths or whatever, if I do it on stream, I'm going to do a rebirth in this time. Whereas if I'm not streaming or whatever, just doing it casually, I'll be like, okay, I'll do rebirth, hour in, set it down, forget about it for the rest of the day or whatever. Okay, looks like we do need to go do bosses, so we'll hop over into public servers. Hopefully find some early bosses, but, you know, we'll see. Oh, also, talking about stuff to do. Recently, I think like 3 days ago now, I got this new cube. For anyone who doesn't know, I do solve Rubik's Cubes and whatever. pretty commonly. Yeah, I've been working on it. This is how far I've gotten. I've spent like 4 hours on it. I had no idea how to solve it when I first mixed it up. So it is kind of a grind. As you guys can see, I have one side done. The reason why it's green and not white was because I started by doing this turning face. That hopefully makes it a little bit more obvious. And then expanded from there. And so I just expanded to the easier stuff, which means I have this turning face done. This turning face done. I think next I'll be working on this turning face. It looks fairly easy. But yeah, it's actually kind of fun to solve a new cube. Master Morphix? Yes, I am. It is definitely a struggle. Oh. Yeah. No, actually solving cubes without, any knowledge of it beforehand is actually kind of fun. I mean, I already know how to solve like basic cubes, and I figured out like the intuitive like steps on how you'd figure out how to solve this, how moving pieces around works, all that fun stuff. So it's actually, you know, fun to solve stuff like this, where it's like, okay, I know the basis of how I would go ahead and try to figure out an algorithm for fixing this thing. Now, how do I actually go ahead and fix it? Oh, yeah. No, I definitely know that feeling of only knowing how to solve half of a cube. When I was first learning how to solve a Rubik's Cube, I got some of the algorithms mixed up because, like, when you first learn how to solve, you're literally, oh, yeah, you do this, whatever, for this specific case. You don't have any intuitive idea on why you do that specific thing. And so I got to that point where, like, I somewhat knew how to solve it, but I'd forgotten it and mixed up, like, some of the last few steps. So I could get about half of it solved, and then it was kind of like guesswork on trying to figure out which algorithm to apply in which situation. Now I'm completely over that. Don't have that issue. But like when I was first solving, I definitely remember sometimes it was like, what am I doing wrong when I'm doing like the wrong algorithm in the wrong place? Just because it was all algorithm memorization and none intuitive understanding on how it all works. All right. Oh yeah, we're still doing bosses, so let's go server hop for those. On big cubes, parity is the worst. Yeah, actually, that being said, for understanding why the parity is the way it is actually helps you solve it. Like I don't remember the exact parity algorithm for like a 4x4. Actually, is it this? Yeah, I don't remember the exact algorithm. I know I'd learned it at some point. That just swaps like this piece like that. I think I could probably remember it pretty easily if I just go look it up or whatever. But like even without that, I know like the basic thing is you literally just turn one side and then solve it again using even-sided. So you have that, and then you just push the white back up into its place. You do the same with orange. I'm gonna have to solve this later. And yeah, now the parity is solved. Now you just have to resolve the entire cube, and it's as the parity fits. You know, it's not the most efficient way to do that parity or whatever, but it will get it solved. And then actually the normal parity where just you need to swap two edges is actually fairly simple on a 4x4. It is literally that. It's 6 turns. Very easy to memorize, so not that big of a deal. The other parity is definitely the more of the bigger one. I keep forgetting it, lol. Yeah, I think that's like I don't remember the exact. As I said, I don't remember the exact solution for the flipping aside, but and the thing is, once you get to like a 5x5, odd parity, the odd cube parity is actually easier to solve than the even cube. So even though 5x5 is bigger than a 4x4, you don't actually have to worry too much about parity on it. Because you already have a centerpiece on all the sides, so you know where they all go, so you don't need to worry about the second one. In the first one, you will be able to notice, like, right when you solve all the edges, so you'll be able to do it without messing up, like, the rest of the cube or whatever. I have like 120 boss baits, and yet I don't know when and how to use them. Yeah, I think boss baits is definitely one of those things where, as a person who I like to collect stuff, and so when I just don't use it when I have it. I think I've gotten better about that for boss bait specifically. But it's definitely an issue with other stuff where it's like, oh yeah, I have this consumable. I'm not using this consumable because I only have a limited amount of that. Especially when you're like maxed out and you've already done like half the stuff, it's hard to warrant using it. I think on this account though, like when I needed to do races for Yuwu or whatever, it made sense to just go ahead and use it, and that's actually made me use quite a bit of it. But yeah, I became brain dead during. Oh yeah, I should just go, teach you guys all how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. I think that would be definitely an interesting stream to have. Oh no, a Rubik's Cube solving stream would be very uninteresting. Like, all right. Yeah, this is about how interesting it would be. Yeah, I was just kind of waiting for the race. Don't worry, I won't actually bore you guys with entirely teaching how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I definitely think like there's a difference between like trying to learn online using like videos and whatever versus just having someone sit down next to you and teach you how to do it, because that's kind of how I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Was just someone being, oh yeah, this is how you solve a Rubik's Cube. Here's what you do in this situation. This is what you look for. And being able to communicate, it definitely makes a huge difference. But at the same time, I think using a guide online can be nice, especially if it's like specifically taught in the way that you actually learn how to solve stuff. Also we're lagging a lot right now, so we're losing time on the race. But yeah, I'm a very, I don't know, hands-on. I would like to say hands-on, but it's more of like trying to get an intuitive understanding on how it works. Whatever is how I prefer to learn. Like math and whatever. Intuitively learning how multiplication works was much more important than learning, oh yeah, 5 times 3 is 15. It was much better to be like, oh yeah, 5 groups of 3 or whatever is 15. So, I think then once I figured that out, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense why everything like that is up. And then, I mean, I still have pretty much all times tables memorized up to like 12x or whatever. Except for like 7 times 8 and 6 times 7. We ignore those two. No one has those memorized, I believe. I learned it online. Yeah. I think you can learn it online. I think it's just a little bit more difficult. I do think there could be a decent way of teaching it where it's like, oh yeah, you highlight different aspects of it and tell them why they're doing it and whatever. But yeah. Anyways, we are doing that. Oh wow. For anyone who has no idea what just happened, that was me somehow getting the one parody where when you do what's it called? PLL? Oh yeah, when you do the PLL, you end up doing the OLL, you end up doing PLL too. That was stupid. Yeah, this cube is a lot different than that. Yeah, as I showed you before, you have about 16 turning faces. You have all these corners that turn, or 4 corners, I guess, not all the corners. turn in a circle, and then you have other corners which have 3 turning faces. I call them faces, but yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting learning a new cube. All right, bye. I've definitely, like, when I first mixed it up, it was kind of a pain to mix up. Yeah, okay, I don't think I should just run that. Like, for instance, on this cube, there's, it looks like it's all just circles, so you can turn everything, but, like, this versus this side specifically versus, like, this is actually different, so you can't actually do this. This just won't turn. It looks like it will turn, but it's a slightly different size, so it doesn't actually work. Which makes it a lot more interesting to solve. Also, this thing looks like a cube, which is not how I was looking for the longest time while trying to solve it. It does not normally look like a cube when trying to solve it. It's just that's where I've set it down for now because I got one side solved, so I decided that was good enough. We're going to probably try to complete more of it today. I don't know. Alright, we should probably go grab that Grim. At least top it a little bit so that we get the completion for it. Is it not over here? I love getting 0 FPS on Roblox. Yeah, no, that's actually the funny thing about like cubes like this. This is actually pretty much just a 3x3 if you think about it. It's just hard to like actually translate stuff. Oh, is literally no one touched this one? Yeah, no one's touched it. All right, whatever. We've done a little bit of it. If someone else completes it, we get it. Yeah, we'll go continue working on Leo, I guess. I think that quest was the upgrade pack or whatever. But yeah, if you look at it, here's a normal cube. You'll notice that it has square sides. You know, very interesting. And this one has pentagon sides. They look very different, but what you notice is that this actual edge, like these 3 pieces here, is a corner center corner pair, whereas it's the same thing on this. And you'll also notice that it has the same overlap. So if you're looking at a side like this, whatever, this 3 has 3 there, one side here, side here, and a side here. It's actually basically the same if you on how they turn and whatever. And so if you do like the same move, if you turn this side up, it'd be like turning this face up. Because you have that combo and that. Slightly different color, ignore that. But there's a lot of similarities between those. The 3x3s, or the pyramids one's actually quite a bit different. From what I can tell, it's similar thought process. Actually, all the puzzles are somewhat similar thought process. But it definitely has a little bit more going on than the other ones. Anyways, what do we have? Rogues, Jester, Pinwheels, Spooky. So just all of the ghosts. Lovely. Alright, I think we'll leave that boss. It will still count as a boss even if we aren't like touching it when it dies, so not too much of an issue just to leave it. Yeah, the main difference between a Mega Minx and the 3x3 is like the last layer or whatever. You actually have to learn like, you know, what to actually turn instead of like what all the turns are actually doing. Like actual algorithms for 3x3 won't actually work on it. Because there is a few more sides, so you have to actually account for that in some of the turns. What's my PB on the 3x3? I missed that one. I'm not the fastest. I think it's probably like a 40-second or so. I don't really time or keep track. Like I'm not very competitive. I more of do it as like a pastime, as for fun, more than anything else. I think the best example of this is I don't have any of F2L memorized. It's more just kind of intuitive, which is really slow in most cases. But it's easier to learn it that way because I'm lazy. And then also for OLL, PLL, those stuff, I have like 4 algorithms of each memorized. 8 of each somewhat understood, and then the rest just never really learned them just because like it took too long. It's been about an hour and we've done about half of Leo's quest, or... I'm trying to figure out how realistic it will be for us to actually get, touch it. To get through Leo, Yoko, and, starting into Jax on this stream, and I think it's realistic. I just want to keep an eye on the time to make sure I don't need to be like, oh yeah, we are only getting through half of Leo or whatever in today's stream because I miscalculated how long it would take to do this. That's fine. But yeah, now that we have like the first time we were coming through this, I think Leo took like an episode plus 3 hours off stream grinding just for all of his packs and backs that he has us upgrade to. Definitely on our first time through, it was actually pretty recently. It took us a while to actually upgrade our packs and backs. Especially in Ghost World, since we needed a lot for quests. J, U, H, N, and Z perm. Yeah, PLL, I have all the corner ones. I can't remember. I think that's is that A? I can't remember. I have the center ones mostly. Like I've got the basic ones where you have 3 out of the wrong place of the centers. I have. What else do I have permutate PLL? Not much. It's these random ones that I've memorized. It's quite bad. Alright, that'll be nice for Yoko. Don't you just love it when you're lagging so much you literally can't gain height from jumping with your board in Ghost World? Like, this is how you're normally supposed to move, and then when you're lagging, you literally just go down and down and down. What else do I have PL memorized? I think that's pretty much it. I tried to memorize JFrame at one point. I think I have like one of the algorithms I actually memorized, but not enough so that I could actually comfortably do it if I needed to. And OL is even worse. There's like 57 OL algorithms, and I have like 10 or 20. Whereas like I have a similar amount of PLL algorithms, but there's less of them. So probably the wrong way to learn stuff. But yeah, let's go do the obbies for Leo really quick. Oh, that's right. I did that at one point. I'm going to set that aside. That will require a little bit more focus than I should probably be giving to a cube at the moment. Actually, my desk is littered with cubes at the moment. It's kind of bad. Let me go grab bunny gum. Hello. Yeah, definitely doing the obby quest before Bunny Gum was added or Jetpack or whatever. It's definitely a different time. You'd be kind of stuck on some of the stuff. Leo. I definitely remember being stuck on some of the obbies for a lot longer than I should have been. I think specifically I'm thinking about the first part of the Block City obby. I struggled on. Like, it was bad. By the time you get a Wild West, I think Wild West is a decent obby. But like the Junkyard obby, or not, the Junkyard obby is easy, the Mine obby is easy, Beach obby is pretty easy. But the Wild West and the Block City are long. And the Block City one specifically is a pain. What has happened? Last I saw was Yoko. We are currently working through our second rebirth. I don't know how you'd call that. Anyways, so we are working through Ghost World, trying to go ahead and just work up towards Remnant Zone for new stuff. Slowly grabbing all the Remnant quests along the, or associate quests along the line. But yeah. Yeah, it was kind of tedious. Should I go jump over to a private server? Probably should go jump over to a private server. How good are your pets? My pets are currently pretty stacked. I think we're running, well, as you can see, we're running Unstable, Adam, Circuit Dude, and Paint Palette, which, you know, pretty good on the stats. So we're, I guess, no, we aren't going there. I can't remember when Leo's quests become super easy. Like most of the time, like the last few quests of some quest lines become super easy. It's either that or they become super hard, but like some quests, like the last like 5 quest lines of theirs, I think specifically thinking about like Blaze here, just becomes such a piece of cake that like you really forget that it took so long to do the first bit. Yeah, I definitely feel like the stat overhaul, like Adam definitely picks people up stat-wise, but I feel like the stats, like, you should be able to get an Adam stat pet fairly easy, like, once you get to Blaze or whatever, when in reality you can't. Like, Adam is just so cracked in stats that it's pretty much impossible to get any pet close to Adam in stats. But yeah, that'd take a lot of time to overhaul pet stats and whatever. I think there's a lot of other things that, you know, if you're overhauling pet stats, you would also do, like, improving progression in some areas, disassociating some of the, pack progression, because there's some, like, limit to how the packs can be progressed in, like, Remnant Zone because of how they impacted, the rest of the world. So they had to be, like, nerfed or whatever. But I think now that the worlds are disassociated with the boss cap, you can actually go freely, make Remnant Zone ghosts actually hard to vacuum and whatnot. But yeah, that would take probably 4 months, I would guess, to, like, or, I don't know, 20 to 30 hours, so, like, 2 full weeks or whatever of development of just that to actually fix. It would be kind of a pain to go ahead and do. Definitely not something you'd want to do, like, really, like, early. Like, there's a lot of better stuff to do that'll take a lot less time than fixing pet stats, because, yeah, pet stats are not as easy to fix as I think they are. Also, what do you guys think is the most underrated, like, perk? Like, when I usually list, like, the best perks in the game, I'm usually listing, like, all the ones that I think are good, and so those are kind of, like, the overrated ones. Not really, because they are pretty good. Like, the hoverboard, for instance, I think is generally considered my favorite perk. And, like, I think jetpack or whatever. But, like, those movement-based ones, pretty good. But, like, what do you think is actually, like, overrated perk-wise in, like, Ghost Simulator? Master Hunter? Okay, no, I think Master Hunter, I think the people who say it's overrated are underrating it. I personally, I'm kind of the reason why it's so highly rated, so I'm a bit biased here. But, like, the fact that you get 3 ghosts, like, you don't think being able to vacuum 3 ghosts at a time would help you progress faster, because, like, oh yeah, I've said this before, really early on in the game. You think you're like, okay, I'm one-shotting ghosts on my second time playing through the game. There's no reason for me to have multiple streams or whatever. That's something I have said verbatim. It's not about being able to vacuum multiple ghosts at a time, like, while you're vacuuming. It's about being able to instantly vacuum a ghost and switch over to another ghost. Because there's a time limit between when you finish vacuuming a ghost and when you can actually start vacuuming another ghost in that slot. And having 3 streams just kind of makes it so that you can actually quit. Parachute, it's very underrated. Oh, okay, Parachute, underrated. Oh, I think Parachute is stupid. But yeah. Yeah, I think Master Hunter is rated high enough. I think it's considered the top tier rebirth perk for most people that know the game. It's generally what's recommended to new players. Yeah, what am I doing? Oh, I'm continuing grabbing all these ghosts. I haven't watched the streams. What is hard mode? Hard mode is kind of an arbitrary set of rules I have made that I've set to play through the game. They include, I think the main ones are I have to complete every single quest before I can move on from an area. So right now we're on our 2nd rebirth or whatever. Before we can go move on and just speed through the game and go do another rebirth or whatever, we actually have to complete every single quest. So in our inventory right now we have 2 sparks, 2 wisps, all those lore quests that, like, blaze and whatever you skip. We've actually gone ahead and done those this time. And then same thing with pet crates, but we're kind of done with that pet crate progression, where I needed to unbox everything from a pet crate before I can unbox the next best pet crate, and a few other stuff. Oh yeah, Parachute is great because of funny running glitches. Fantastic for speedrunning. Yeah, okay, I feel like, yes, it does make you go faster, but, you know, as a perk itself, it's kind of useless. Like, if someone, for instance, patched those bugs because they didn't like them for whatever reason, all of a sudden it becomes a garbage perk. But yeah, there's a few other rules for this account, like no game passes, but those are pretty self-explanatory, no trading. But yeah, it's pretty much playing through the game as a new player, seeing how hard the game is if you have to complete every quest instead of just skipping the stupid ones like Dylan, Jax. Basically, if you equip the parachute right as you touch the floor or right as you equip a hoverboard, the parachute will continue to stay equipped while you're on the ground, pushing you forward more. No, like, the perk itself is useless. Like, if you patch out the bugs or whatever, it's useless. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, with the speedrunning, the bugs or whatever for moving faster or whatever, jumping. Actually, no, jumping is decent. But, like, you're using it for the first 5 minutes of a speedrun. You realize, I hope you understand. It is not as good as you guys think it is for speedruns. Like, you're grabbing the hoverboard. No one's skipping the hoverboard in a speedrun of the game. Yeah, for the 5 minutes before you get a hoverboard, you can move around faster. when you could, like, you know, use teleports better. I know it's not as simple as that. Having the extra movement is actually going to be, save a few, maybe a minute in that time, but yeah. Even without the bug, it's still useful in speedrunning. Yeah, I mean, it's helpful for the final boss-ish. I don't know if it saves any time on the final boss, but it does make it easier. Yeah, what it saves, what, like a minute, 2 minutes on a rebirth speedrun, correct? Or am I kind of biased against this, and this is why it's all underrated? You know, that might be why it's underrated. Yeah, there's not, I kind of gave up on, like, I never really was a collector in Ghost Simulator. Like, I'll play events to get stuff, but I'm not, like, trading for stuff. I don't trade at this moment in the game. I kind of gave up on it. Mainly just due to the imbalance, like, someone's always going to get a loss in the trade, and generally the way people have traded in the past on Ghost Simulator is, like, basically scamming. It's not actually scamming, it's more like sharking, where you kind of just trade something super low value, like a stat pet or whatever, mythicals, for something of value like a limited store item, which is super unfair and kind of hurts people. But even after Ghost World, okay. Yeah, okay, I'll take your word for it. Maybe it is a better perk than what I give it credit for. For specifically speedrunning, the rest of the game is kind of useless. No. I've never used it, to be honest. It is such a use. Yeah, but, no, the best way really to get, like, good pets and whatever, like, trading's kind of dead. Like, really, I hate saying this, but literally the best way to get good pets in the game is to scam people. You know, trade mythical stat pets for good stuff. Don't do that. That is it hurts people, but, like, that's really how people have gone in value over, like, the entire trading history of Ghost Simulator. That's generally how it's done. With a larger player base where it's a lot more anonymous, a lot more players, it wasn't as bad because, like, no one really knew what trading values had stuff, so it wasn't like people had an unfair advantage on trading. It was just some people that are a little bit more knowledgeable were able to do it. But yeah, now that the game's slowed down a lot, it's harder, it's hurting a lot higher percentage of the player base. And yeah, other than that, like, you can probably maybe you need to figure out, like, some sort of, like, trading strategy or whatever, like maybe trading for classifieds or whatever, for cheap, and then trying to trade them away for more limited stuff somehow, and, like, fairer trades or whatever. But yeah. What's your opinion on Ghost Simulator dying, as people say? My personal opinion is yes, that Ghost Simulator is dying. Like, that's all games die. And yeah, it's been going down for a while. But I feel like a new developer that they're actually hiring right now, could, in theory, or really anyone just spending development time on the game, rebalancing the game could make the game so much better or whatever. Fix large portions of the game that feel really unbalanced, kind of broken at the moment. I feel like that could really easily fix the game. Like, if someone went through, fixed the entire progression or at least part for new players join the game actually pretty frequently, and if the new player experience is actually good, they'd actually stay. But yeah, that's my opinion. I feel like, yes, the game is dying, but I feel like it could get turned around really easily. Like, Ghost Simulator as, like, the game itself, since it had a lot of popularity right when it dropped, there are enough people that see Ghost Simulator like, okay, I'll try that on or whatever. because of its name and whatnot, that it gets a constant influx of new players. Like you never really see, like, you look at Sentinel, which Bloxbyte released a few months ago now. Its players commonly drops to 10 to 20. I don't know if I've seen it below 10. But like Ghost Simulator is almost always hovering right around 100 players. Like that's pretty high for a dead game or whatever. So I feel like if like new players actually stayed in the game for longer, that number could go from like 100 to maybe 200 to 300 or whatever pretty easily, just by being like, oh yeah, new players. Here's actually a balanced progression for when you have, for right now, because you have like 2,000 million more things to go on. And also making like endgame harder too, I think makes some sense. I think endgame is way too easy, but you know, that's something different. But yeah. What game do I mostly play? Right now it's Brawl Stars, then Pet Simulator 99, and then Ghosts. No, I don't really play Ghost Simulator at the moment. Not on my main. I do play it on this account, but like this is like once a week. Defeat a mini boss twice. Does this one count that mini boss? I really hope it does. Please Stalemate spawned. It is in fact not spawned. Alright, let's go do Yoko's quest and then come back. Pet Sim 99 Skull. Yeah. I probably Brawl Stars want to play. No, right now I'm playing Ghost Simulator. Honestly, I don't really do teams in Brawl Stars. Like, I'm kind of a solo person at heart, and it really pains me because, like, you know, randoms are so great at Brawl Stars, correct? Okay, yeah, okay. I think we wait for mini bosses and then we go swap over to a private server. Okay, I literally can't gain height from jumping on my hoverboard because of the lag. This is annoying. How good are you at Brawl Stars? I would consider myself decent. I mean, to be fair, my highest brawler ever is only like 900 trophies, so, you know, I think that's probably the best way to categorize how good someone is, but, wow, the lag is being really bad in Ghost Simulator right now. Like, 5 FPS. Alright, whatever. I need to wait for the mini bosses. 900 trophies? Yeah. I mean, that being said, I do have every single brawler, except for Kit currently, because I don't have Kit yet, maxed out, so, and hypercharges on all those, so I do have quite a bit of progression that way, but that's mainly just because I'm a pay-to-win, on the entire game. But yeah. Yeah, I also have pretty much, or I actually have every brawler 550 plus. I try to get all of them up to like 650, 700, I think is the goal eventually, but yeah, I have like 52,000 trophies total, so, as again, not super high, not like 100,000 or whatever the highest person's at, but, definitely fairly high. But yeah, I definitely do that same thing where I try to get all my brawlers up to a certain amount. It was 500 for a while, and then I actually got... Actually, the win streak right now that they added is super nice for pushing brawlers up trophies. Like... No, I'm doing that same strategy where I do push all my brawlers up to like a certain trophy. As I said, I push up to like 500, 550, 600, or whatever. I'll try to keep all of them at the minimum. It's kind of a pain, but yeah. Especially when you have 70, all the brawlers, like 73 brawlers or whatever there is currently. I definitely understand why people don't like Pet Sim. I think Pet Sim... is overhyped, but it's also is like a decent like simulator game. Like, Bull's actually not that bad. I mean, you just have to like not just go into like Wipeout or any of those like long range maps or whatever. You just kind of go into like Gem Grab, Hot Zone, one of those maps. I actually haven't pushed Bull in a while. Like, there's actually some brawlers, like, since they added masteries, I've gotten like 15 mastery points on Squeak. A few other brawlers I have that similar, where I've literally done nothing for them since 7 months ago, or whenever they added masteries. Yeah, Pet Sim 99 is more free to play. Yes, it's free to play friendly-ish, but like the main thing about it is just kind of like a new simulator. Like, I have a really grinding games is kind of like what I like to do with my free time. So the fact that it's grindy is nice. Gives me a lot of stuff to do, and the fact that it's free to play friendly is nice, so I don't have to spend. I have spent a little bit on the game, actually quite a bit of it. But yeah. Only thing you're simulating in Pet Sim 90 is enslaving animals. You say that like literally the pet system is that bad. It's the same pet system as every other simulator, like including Ghost Sim. I don't think I understand the idea that something popular is bad or whatever. I understand that. Is it stereotype meme? Anyways, I've kind of I've stepped into that one before. Especially with like roleplay games that I don't really play. But like, it's not that bad that you should make fun of people for playing it. I don't think any game you should make fun of people. Okay. I don't think most games you should. I think people make fun of people for playing games way too frequently. There are some games I think make fun of someone for playing. Probably valid. Maybe not. You probably shouldn't be making fun of people, period. But like, I definitely think Pet Sim 99 is definitely in that boat where like, it's a decent game. Like, just because someone plays it and it's popular doesn't mean you should make fun of it. But yeah. People, yeah, I spend a little bit. Also, them 1K or more. Yeah. Oh, okay. I was thinking about it. I've bought probably 1,000, 2,000 Robux worth of Game Passes on it, or like Robux stuff in general. I think. I don't know. Let me do the math really quick. So I've on that Game Pass, that Game Pass. Is it just that Game Pass I bought? All right. I've spent at least like 1,000 and like 500 or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, it's still pay win. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think some of the Game Passes on it, like the 25x huge unboxing for 3,250 Robux, are a bit pay to win. Yeah, that I think I could agree on, but yeah. That's a bit obscene, I think. But the thing about the game is like actual huges, they actually are not that much of an improvement to like progression or whatever. Like, you don't need huges to be good at the game just because they are based on your best pet. Oh, I've also bought that Game Pass, I guess. Yeah, probably around 2,000 Robux. That being said, I have spent like 5,000 or whatever on Ghost Simulator for all of its Game Passes. And then another 5,000 on a Sentinel for its Game Passes. Ghost Simulator is acceptable. Actually, Ghost Simulator is way worse pay to win than even like Pet Simulator, or maybe not Pet Simulator 99, but it's like in Pet Simulator 99 you can kind of ignore the things you can trade for stuff fairly easily just because of the economy. Like the main one is the rainbow pets, I think, is like the main or not rainbow, magical pets, magical eggs. That is, I think, the main game pass that breaks the free-to-play model, because like literally getting a fifth of your pets as rainbows straight up is just super, or maybe a tenth. But like getting a fraction of your pets just straight up rainbow, that's 100x times opening power or whatever for each of those pets you get. That is probably the only thing I'd consider not free to play friendly for the game is that Game Pass. Whereas Ghost Simulator, all the 2x's that they have, like the 2x luck, 2x gems, not 2x gems, 2x luck, 2x items, 2x currencies, all stacked together in a way that really kind of breaks the game. Like it's like 10 times easier or so to get a classified with all the game passes than without, which is, you know, pretty similar to how it works with Pet Simulator 99's huge hunter whatever game pass, just because like just how it works or whatever. But yeah, when did I get into streaming? I started YouTube like 8 years ago, 7 years ago. My goodness, no, not 7 years ago, like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. Anyways, and I started like really doing streams, I think like 2020, 2021. So I'm not huge, I'm not like, this isn't exactly what I do, and I grow at a slow pace. Like I'm not doing YouTube to stream, do YouTube to make money or whatever. I'm doing it as a pastime because I need something to do sometimes. And if I wasn't doing this, I'd be playing games anyways. I would be feeling less productive, and I don't know, I just feel like it's interesting to do streams and stuff, make content, especially like helpful content. Like being an established YouTuber, I can, like, when I see something like, oh yeah, new feature in Ghost Simulator, like when they added the boss caps, I can make a video on that boss caps explaining it, and people will watch it and people will understand what it means. Ish. I mean, it wasn't the best video in the world, but it was a video. I can do stuff like that. But yeah, but yeah, again, I'm not doing this to really like make money or whatever, or I'm more of doing it because I like playing games more than anything. Also, we need to grab a few ghosts before we can sell. How close are we to this? Oh, we got it. And there's the items that I was dreading. Do I need these? No, I don't actually need these. I need goblets. Yeah, I think like the biggest reason, like, I'm really bad at expanding my content. Like 90% of my content and like 99% of my views come from Ghost Simulator at this point. So it's really hard for me to like try to experiment with new stuff. And I don't, honestly, I don't make the greatest content videos. Like I'm pretty bad at editing, and like editing's like half of video making and whatever. But yeah, no, like most of the issues that are reason why I'm like underrated, as some people say, it's because I only do Ghost Simulator content. Like Ghost Simulator itself is an underrated game, most people would say. And because that's what I do, I kind of just take that little bit of underratedness of Ghost Simulator, and that gets applied to my own content. So, yeah. I also feel like there's a lot of small YouTubers on YouTube. Like, even myself recently, I watch YouTube a lot in my free time. I've noticed more and more there's so many very like low subscribers that make a lot better content than I do, and it's like eye-opening to realize like half of YouTube is like people like me, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm not really ever going to be big on YouTube because like there's a billion other people like me. Like even in the Ghost Sim sphere, there's like there's like one other Ghost Sim maybe YouTuber that you could consider, so there's not many, but there's other people that have tried doing Ghost Sim as YouTube, and obviously they never really grew, so I probably won't grow either. But yeah, at some point I do need to expand into other stuff. I just don't know what to do content wise. Like Minecraft is one of the more obvious things. I find it fun. It's popular on YouTube. It's just, you know, it requires editing, and there's a lot of people already doing it, so not as important. Wars, yeah, Wars does it. Yours, I don't know. I feel like he's made like 5 I Quit Ghost Simulator videos at this point. I don't actually watch his content, so I can't say for certain. But it definitely feels like he's been moving away for a while, or varies a little bit on that. Got no views? Yeah. Worst Quit Ghost Simulator? Yeah, you know. That's what I was saying. I thought he made a video on that, but I thought he also made videos before that. I know Wars has been part of the community since like 2019. He's been around basically as long as I can remember. For reasons unmentionable, I do remember him definitely commenting on some stuff in 2019 Halloween events, so, but yeah, who knows? New devs getting announced, might change his mind, I don't know. For whatever reason, the community decides, oh yeah, wait, we're getting a new dev, we can go throw our 20,000 suggestions at them, and get them to add all the stuff we want, and therefore the game will improve or whatever, but who knows. Why are you so laggy? I'm playing on a laptop, like a $600 7-year-old laptop. Ghost Simulator is not known for being the most lag-friendly device, or most lag-friendly game, so in fact I'm playing on a lower-ish end computer, streaming at the same time with Google Chrome open to, you know, watch chat. Yeah. New World 2024. Yeah, I'm fairly sure it's safe to say we're getting a New World next year. I just don't know when that would be. I don't know what devs are thinking on that. Who knows? We might get it tomorrow. Probably not, since they usually update on Friday. But yeah, make the game actually interesting. I feel like game balancing the game would be more important than adding new stuff to the game. Like there's a certain point where you can't just add new stuff to the game. You have to go like take a look at like, oh yeah, new players in this game spend 5 hours getting through Jesse. Maybe we should make them get through main hub in like an hour. Love lore. Yeah, I think, you know, I'm not super much into lore myself. I know there are a few people that do care about lore, but lore is like the amount of content time you get play-wise from adding lore versus the amount for like progression, I think is a bit misbalanced. Like people will play grinding like hundreds of hours to add a single pet that you add if you add it in the right way. Whereas if you add like lore for people to find, people find that lore and then they stop playing. Like it's pretty linear, the amount of time people play for lore versus the amount of time people play for progression. You don't think the game is that unbalanced? Okay, as a YouTuber, I get a lot of feedback from like lots of different players. One of the biggest things I've seen is, okay, beyond like which rebirth perk do I choose and how to get classifieds, is people like struggling on quests, like struggling on how do I do Dylan? How give me this pet so I can complete this quest line. How to unbox godlies, like all that stuff that like as a pay to win player I've never really felt has been unbalanced. I see that in the game. I see people complain about it, and I feel like a lot of that stuff should be easier, especially like playing through the game. Jesse, for instance, if you've looked at Jesse's quest, yeah, if you've looked at Jesse's quest, she has like 20, she has like 4 quests where you have to go grab like 20 or 30 ghosts from previous areas, which takes forever early game when you're like literally getting no progression from it other than the quest line. It's a pain to do that quest. You get bored. Like back when I did it, I don't know why I got through with it, but like I had people that started like family, like brother or whatever, brother. Where I was like, oh yeah, Ghost Simulator, here's this cool game. They got stuck. They didn't complete Adam's questline. Because it took forever to complete Adam's questline to get that hoverboard. People get stuck on Dylan's quest. It's... I played the game in 2019. It was pay to win for ages, basically up until 2022, and I found it completely fine. Oh yeah, you're non-pay to win? Yeah, I mean, yes, I think... I definitely think, like, there is definitely good parts of the progression, but if you think that some people should spend 10 hours getting through the first version of the game, like, we're talking version 1.0.0, it takes people 10 hours to get through all the content that was added in the first update of the game. There's 148 updates since then. They're taking 10 hours to get through the first update of 149 updates. Put in that context, you realize, like, yeah, like, or until you realize Rebirth. Like, it takes people like 40, 50, 60 hours to do the first Rebirth. They can't access any new content until they do that and grind back up to Remnant Zone. Generally speaking, when you drop new content in a game, you want people to be able to access that. And right now, a lot of Ghost Sim players, like new players, I'm guessing are like seeing like, oh yeah, I'd have to do all of this to be able to access new content or whatever. Not worth it or whatever, but yeah. Also, progression's not very straightforward. This is specifically obvious in Ghost World, but it also applies to Main Hub, Backdoor, Remnant World. It's really hard to tell what quest to do next. In Ghost World, it's specifically bad because of Gatekeeper's quest. And Rebirth is infinite, so like, shouldn't there be a cap? I mean, yes, cap would definitely, I think, make it easier to balance Rebirth. I think at this point you can't really add a cap to anything without angering a lot of people. I think you'd need to rework how the perks work instead. Oh, 50 meteorites, really? I don't want to go back to Main Hub. Alright, fine. But yeah, make progression more obvious. Like, one of the things I've said it before, it's really hard for people to tell what quests in Ghost World are worth, or like in Main Hub are worth doing. Like, not to worry about you, not to really worry about completing all those like side quests that you have access to right at the start. Luna Blaze, I feel like it could be really easily done. I think people are assuming enough. If you just make like the ring colors are different and then add a just little thing like side quest, main quest, whatever, 2 quest lines, you can make this thing where players are able to realize, really, oh, this quest is yellow, this quest is green. I should do green quests, I should ignore yellow quests, because yellow quests are only side quests that I don't need to worry about doing and won't help me progress. Yeah, I think that could be really easy to just go ahead and add to the game, and I think players would pick up on that. Math test tomorrow? Oh, good luck. Yeah, tests are just kind of a pain sometimes. I mean, I never had to study for stuff, but I know, like, if you have a quest, a test coming up, it can be kind of stressful, and, like, because you're stressed, you perform badly on the test, and, like, it's just a whole thing, but yeah. But yeah, those are my main complaints. Progression is too long for new players, and progression isn't obvious. Like Gatekeeper, for instance, it's really actually that's probably the worst thing in the game right now is Gatekeeper's quest. The fact that you need to get data link to upgrade your tenant and you have no idea where it comes from is really, really bad. Like, no, what I'm talking about here is main quests, not requests that are required to beat the game, but quests that help you progress through the game. So my idea on splitting up quests is progression quests and like progression quests and side quests. Progression quests help you progress through the game. They are kind of like the progression standpoints, like Adam, Jesse, Finsley, where they are in those areas and have you progress through those areas. This would also include the Remnant Zone quests, or the not the Remnant Zone quests, the second arc quest, like Morgan, whatever, because he requires you to press through those areas. He's kind of like a rebirthed version, buffed up version of Adam, without a perk, which is kind of stupid. So perks and pets rewards, yes, and other stuff that helps you progress. So like Shelly would be a progression quest line. Leo, Yoko, progression quest lines. Jax, side quest line. Fern, actually I don't know where Fern would fit in. Gatekeeper, progression quest line. Ace, side quest line. Even if they have a perk, like Jack would, for instance, be considered a side quest line, because even though she has a perk, she isn't like a progress through the game to complete my quest sort of deal. She is a grab all these items from these previous areas that you unlocked sort of quest line. I was stuck on data link for over a year. Yeah, this is my point. Oh, good grief. I think it could be done fairly easily. If you add like for now that the items are this own tab, if you add this blurb, actually I think making this blurb always on instead of being when you hover over the equip or whatever. But yeah, if you add like a little blurb to like these items and then show like the blurb like socks or whatever, if it has a little blurb like drop from ghosts in the sewer or whatever, you can literally just add all that information to like your to here, and then if you hover over it, instead of just saying data link, it says data link obtained from Gatekeeper or whatever. Entire problem solved with data link. Like, okay, maybe not quite, it still would be kind of hard for people to figure out where Gatekeeper is, but it would make it like 5,000 times better than what we currently have for it. No, I don't. I don't know. Not my cup of tea. But yeah, all these ideas hopefully could be added really easily. We'll see how easy they are actually to add if they ever do get added. Yeah, goblets. Oh, why am I grabbing over here, grabbing stopwatches? Do you like tea? I don't also drink tea or coffee or anything like that. I'm a sugar sort of guy, so I'll eat candy. I like my favorite types of drinks are those that have loads of sugar, which is kind of unhealthy. And no, I don't really care for caffeine either. Like, I'm not against caffeine, but given the choice between caffeine and sugar, I would pick sugar even if they're basically the same thing. They're not. They're not the same thing, but they have the similar health downsides. Yeah, that's the thing about coffee, though. There's a lot of different ways to have coffee. Like, yes, you can have, like, straight black coffee, or you can mix in sugar, or you can just go have something that's, like, 90% sugar, 10% coffee, or whatever. People will make fun of you for it. I'm assuming. I think I've heard people be like, yeah, if you mix in milk with your coffee, you like milk more than you like coffee or whatever. Oh, it's like that meme. If you like milk chocolate but not dark chocolate, you like sugar more than chocolate. I don't know how many of you guys have seen that meme, but like I feel like that can be applied to pretty much anything. Where it's like, oh yeah, if you like coffee, if you like what's the coffee like? I don't even know coffee stuff. But like whatever, where it is just kind of loads of sugar, milk, cream, whatever. If you like that, but not black coffee, you like sugar more than coffee or whatever. But yeah, no, I don't know. I've had it like once in my lifetime, and it was like decaf coffee. It's just not something specifically I've ever had. I mean, if I drank it enough, I think I'd learn to like it, and probably grow addicted to it. I just don't see a reason to, since like 95% of the things people drink it for is like caffeine. I don't need caffeine. I get enough sleep as is. Maybe that'll change when I get a job. Who knows? But yeah. For the time being, there's really no reason for me to try to drink coffee. I don't need the addition of chemicals. I mean, that being said, I am addicted to sugar, so maybe I'm being hypocritical by saying caffeine's bad when I have just as bad of a problem with sugar, but yeah. How was your first time playing Ghost Simulator? It was slow. I definitely remember being stuck in areas when I first played the game, and it was like, really, the only reason really why I stayed was actually for like trading reasons. Like I started off getting a dragon. I traded that dragon in like 8-bit or whatever for a overseer that was good stat pets, and then the events came and it was all good stuff from the events, and it was just kind of trading heaven back then. Also, people are taking my ghosts. Yeah, next quest line will be unlocking or the next quest specifically will be going ahead and grabbing all the find items, so it should be pretty easy once we get this one done. We just need 100 more goblets, and we have to fight with people over all these goblets, so that'll be interesting. Can't I use private server? I don't want to swap over to a private server just for the last five minutes of this quest. I'm just going to stay here and wait it out. Yeah, 24 quests is Leo. 33 is Shelly. 18 is Yoko. 21 is Jax and a few others. Yeah, there's definitely. And then backdoor is literally all the same. I think they're all like 15 quests in the backdoor. What gums that? I'm using basic loot gum right at the moment because I kind of want more items. Yeah, I don't have access to enchanted gum yet. No. If you look at my inventory, you can really quickly tell why I'm using basic loot gum instead of anything else. I do have a bit of ghostly stuff. I did do a little bit of grinding before I rebirthed for that stuff. But since I was playing through the game slowly with quests, I realized I would be grinding enough of these ghosts that I would have most of the items with just basic loot gum. But yeah. Yeah, no, trading is against the rules on this account. And, I mean, if it wasn't, I'd literally just trade this account for classifieds, 1,000 ghostly or glitchy loot gum, and what else would it need? Yeah, that's probably about it. There we go. Alright, now we are done with Leo's quest. We do have the heavy armor. We have about an hour left, I think, in the stream, so we should hopefully be able to go ahead and get through the rest of Yoko's quest, maybe? Maybe. 2 other people watching. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care too much about views. I'm usually doing this content for my own progression most of the time anyways. But yeah, those... I hate lag in the game. Like, why is Roblox so bad on when you're lagging? Like... No, fragments are for Leo. Actually, Yoko doesn't have any fine quests other than the, other than one ring quest and the, AOF, markings. Yeah, that's very, like, yeah, my computer's not right with, stuff. Anyways, that is heavy armor unlocked, so now we don't need to worry about, bosses anymore. We're going to go ahead and work on Yoko. We should hopefully be able to get Yoko done. I think an hour for Yoko is actually more than enough time. Actually, no, we do have to do 12 bosses. That's like 5 minutes per boss plus the other quest. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if an hour is enough for Yoko. The NPCs themselves are fine. It's the quests to get to them, the puzzles that you have to solve to get to them that are invisible, impossible to figure out. I've ranted before this like 20,000 other times, so I'm not going to go rehash everything. But the puzzle part of their quest is just broken. I think they are possible to fix, and I think fixing them would be nice. Make them... But in the current state, puzzles in Ghost Simulator are impossible to solve. I like the grindy games. I like games where I have to like do stuff to progress. It's like Minecraft, whatever. I don't know. I don't really have a genre of game I like. Maybe I do. Strategy-ish? It's really hard to, say exactly what I like. Yeah, RPG, no. I know there's two types of RPGs that I always think about the first kind. But yeah. Usually I think about role-playing games like Adopt Me. That's generally not what role-playing games means. It's like actually entirely different than that. Like it's the, oh yeah, you follow the storyline of game, whatever. What's a good way to do that? Like literally any escape the it's anything is sort of thing is a role-playing game because you're role-playing as a character trying to get out of an area. Whatever, but yeah. Yeah, no, it's still not my cup of tea. I do kind of just prefer like economy-based games where it's like, oh yeah, generate as much money as you can to progress. Like tycoon-ish stuff I do like. Pretty much anything though that has that similar play style where it's do this to progress, to do it again to progress or whatever. But kind of in your own you get a little bit of choice on what you do. So like to get gems in Ghost Simulator, you have a few options. Not really, but you know, bear with me. I'm using it as an example. But yeah, now we are on to Yoko's Quest. I think we have very little left in terms of ghosts, so it's going to be mainly bosses from here on. And I think with heavy armor, we should be able to do it pretty quickly. Actually, no, after this stream, I don't know how busy I'm going to be. I might have other stuff that I need to go ahead and do today. Hello, Ian. Oh, yeah, thank you for... okay. Yesterday, people DM'd me about claiming items from a giveaway. I told them I'd be back in an hour, and I haven't responded to them yet. So, yeah, actually, after the stream, I do need to go make sure people get their items from a giveaway. Including you, Ian. Is it a Christmas event? He's still here? Yes. Christmas event will last. Update's going to be... Next update is planned for next Friday. But the actual event will last another 2 weeks after that. So you still have about 3 weeks left to do anything you want in that Christmas event. Spoiler alert, most people aren't doing anything. I think most people got tired of the event. But yeah. Ghost Sim devs are actually going for Beesmas. Yeah, I've heard about Beesmas. I think this is actually a pretty common trope in overrated games like okay, I hate saying Beaststorm is overrated. It isn't. It's a really good game. I'm just saying, like, the amount of time that was put into the game development versus the amount of time that people got enjoyment out of it is a bit more mismatched than most. And because of that, it takes a lot... There's struggles actually putting in enough development time to have stuff out on time. still a great game. I'm just saying, like, it's not living up to like what a game of like with that popularity should have, like development resources. I don't know if they've hired more people for it or whatnot, but the idea being like it's slow on making good quality updates. Anyways, I want to be rich. Yeah, I think the problem with Ghost Sim right now is like the economy is so dead at the moment. Like really the only option for having good stuff in the game now is having good stuff before. Like there's really no other thing. And like even if, for instance, the game players shoot up and the economy restabilizes, like all of the old stuff that players consider good and valuable from the old is going to be so much more valuable. It's just going to be kind of ridiculous. And that's just kind of an issue with how, like, if you're low on going from a low player base to high player base, all the items before are now like super spread out, whereas before they were only minorly spread out. But yeah. But yeah, no, we Ghost Sim is going to be, I think Ghost Sim's pretty good on letting people know when like updates are dropping. I think other than Metaverse, which was its own can of beans, like the way it worked was like it had to be released at a certain date, so it was an off update, off normal schedule update. Other than that one event, which was Roblox sponsored whatever, Ghost Simulator has every single update except for one on like within 24 hours of when it should have dropped, like, and generally within an hour of when they generally drop updates. The only one update where they didn't have the update here on time, I can't even remember what the update was for, but the update was like one day late, Saturday, later on a Saturday, and for whatever reason it just had to be delayed a day. That was only happened once to my knowledge on Ghost Simulator. Other than that, updates happen regularly every single Friday or every other Friday. Used to be every Friday, then it got updated to every other Friday. But yeah. Yeah, no, being a smaller YouTuber, you definitely get to see a lot more of the people, talk to people more. I mean, it is just how being smaller works. But yeah. Wait. All right, bye. $45 to do, yeah, because the main majority of Yoko's quest at this point is going to be the 10 bosses I think I have to do. I do believe it's 5 and 5. I might be wrong on that. Anyway, orange ring, green ring, easy peasy. And I think with Leo's, it does make it a little bit faster. But yeah, most of Yoko's questline, I think you guys all find boring. I mean, it happens literally every rebirth, and I've done way too many rebirths on this account. Or on, not on this account, but on streams, so yeah. This one I want to use Bunny Gum for. Alright, and then we have 5 bosses. Heavy armor, it should be a breeze. 40 minutes, 10 bosses. Yeah, a lot of it really depends on our RNG on getting bosses, though. How long will Backdoor be on this account? I'm trying to figure out like what episode we'll actually get onto Remnant Zone. Because yeah, we'll probably complete Yoko today. I think Jax, Fern, and Gatekeeper, are those all doable in one episode, or would those... I can't remember how long Jax is. Jax is a lot of items, ghosts, and then a little bit of upgrading vacuums and packs. Yeah, I think Jax will probably take around 2 hours, and then Fern will take probably another 2 hours. So all things said and done, that will be probably Backdoor. Then we'll take probably an hour for each area. 2 hours for Billy's areas. 15 minutes for that. 4 hours, 4 hours. It's about episode 30. We should be able to go ahead and get into Remnant Zone, I think. Which is about 2 times faster than we were able to finish the game the first time around. Assuming we can complete Yoko today. So yeah. 5 more episodes. And then Remnant Zone, I think, will take, like... probably another 10 hours? So 3 episodes? It has to take longer than 10 hours to get through Remnant Zone. Not really. Huh. Yeah, okay. No, I think Remnant Zone is only going to take us a few, like 10 hours or so to get through it. That's like, actually, it's about an hour per each antenna upgrade. I think it's on average a little bit longer than that, so, I don't know, let's say 20 hours, another 8 more streams, 9 more streams. Rem Zone can't be less than 6 episodes. Yeah, I know. I was realizing that like it's a bit longer than I'm probably giving it credit for. Yeah, but it is mainly item progression. If I grab a lot of glitchy loot gun before I go into it, oh. Yeah, that's interesting. How long would that take? Oh, also, we've been collecting quite a bit of Jolly Roger loot bags. I think those will be interesting to open at the end of this stream. Or near the end or whatever. Yeah, I'm way too distracted with this cube at the moment. Am I even making progress, or am I undoing more than I'm doing? Yeah, because I couldn't have undone that, could I? Yeah, I guess I could have. I think I did. Maybe I did. I thought I cleaned it up. Here. Not there. Oh, we missed a boss. That should be fine. Anyways, I'm tempted to just to end the stream right now. I don't know. I feel like I've kind of got bored of the stream at this point. I don't have too much more to talk about. We are just kind of doing Yoko at this point. Everyone knows Yoko is just kind of just a boss mess. That being said, I do still want to get this. I think we'll definitely finish this quest, though. We are only 2 bosses away. Shouldn't take too long. But yeah, I think once we are done with this quest, though, we'll probably end the stream in favor of me doing whatever else I want to do, which might involve solving the rest of this cube. We'll see it. See how long that would take. Probably a lot longer than I think it would. Oh. Anyways, I am way too interested in that cube at the moment. But yeah, I think we'll finish up this quest, see if there's any other easy quests to really quickly finish on it, and then end the stream a little bit early. Maybe then I'll go finish up a Minecraft video finally and publish that for episode 2 of the Chunk Craft. And then probably also play a bit more Minecraft and a bunch of other random stuff. Who knows? I have a lot of time on my hands and not much that or a lot of stuff that I want to do, but also a lot of time. So we'll see how much I actually have time for. Alright, one more boss. We should probably be able to do that in a ghost world if we just teleport over there. Generally, there's one boss over there, at least. There's a 30% chance. You know what a 30% chance means, right? 30% chance means you aren't doing it. Oh, that's a perfect boss. Yeah, because that's... Yeah, I think I probably need to start editing that. Because the thing is, if I wait too long on editing that Minecraft video, I really need to have done that like yesterday or the day before. Yeah, and I don't want to do this quest, so we're ending the stream now. I really do need to do it as soon as possible, because otherwise it's going to start eating into the time where I need to work on other videos, like a update video for whatever the next update is. Being said, can we upgrade our vacuum? We can. Let's go do that. And yeah, once I get like one other video idea, that video isn't going to get edited. So if I do that as soon as possible, it does make sure I do get that video out. Yeah, and it allows me to do more videos without being like, oh yeah, I just skipped 50 hours of Minecraft progression because I didn't make an episode 2. But yeah, that will be it for this stream. We managed to go ahead and get through Leo's questline, a little bit of Riley's, and quite a bit of Yoko's. I just kind of got bored of the rest of Yoko's, so we're just ending a little bit early. I will hopefully see you guys with a Minecraft video this week, and probably an update video on Ghost Simulator. We'll see how that turns out, whether the update is going to be as big, or it's not going to be big, whether it's going to be anything. If it's going to exist, I'm going to make a video. I just don't know if it will actually exist. Thank you guys for coming out, and I will see you guys then. Bye.